Hello and welcome to the last of our live Q&A sessions today. This is Liz from Admissions and Student Recruitment, and I'm joined here today by some of my colleagues in the Student Services Office, Ivan Carty, RCSI's Accommodation Manager, Dave Harris, our Gym and Sports Centre Manager, and Smyth and Jackie Knowles, RCSI's Clubs and Societies Officers. So we'll be here for the next 30 minutes to try and answer as many questions as we can around accommodation, gym, clubs and societies, and all things student services related. So please feel free to send your questions in through the chat box, or if you want to raise your hand so you can turn on your mic and your camera and ask a question. We really look forward to chatting to you over the next 30 minutes. So please don't be shy. Please make the most of this live. And okay, I'll hand it over to you. Maybe Jackie, Ivan, Dave, and Simon want to start going through the box and just kind of answering the stuff, and I'll after the waiting room here.
Yeah, absolutely. I see the first question there is kind of directed towards myself and Jackie at the start. So somebody asked, how many societies may I take part in during my course, and can I switch between clubs? You can take part in...
Your sound is dipping a little bit, so I'm sorry.
Oh, I'll move closer to my right up. You can all see my face. Can you hear me better now?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you can join as many clubs and societies as you want. There are 35 clubs and 54 societies, if I'm correct, Jackie. And you're more than welcome to join all of them, to join 2 of them, 3 of them, and you can interchange every week. You can decide, this week I want to try taekwondo. I don't like taekwondo anymore. Next week I want to try kickboxing. And there's not really a huge amount of commitment. Obviously, for some of them, the kind of team sports specifically for clubs, there is a bit more commitment. So if you want to join the rugby club, you're going to be expected to come to a few training sessions. But if you don't want to go anymore and you decide, you know what, it's not for me, or I'm too busy because I'm doing exams, it's absolutely fine. And you can just kind of dip out for that semester, that year, and then join again the following year. Jackie, do you have anything to add on to that one?
Just joining clubs and societies is completely free. It's really easy to do. So as Sadhbh said, you can kind of commit as much time or as little time as you want. So it's super easy to sign up and to register to join a club and society, but it's just as easy to kind of revoke your registration. So come and go as you please. Give everything a try and whittle it down. That's what I would advise anyways. But yeah, no, that's exactly right.
And Dave, there's another part of the question there asking in case they need a gym trainer, how and where can they find one?
Yeah, so we have a team of personal trainers in the gym, and the personal training and all the services and facilities in the gym are free always. So if you need a personal trainer, we're absolutely happy to help. You can email it to gym@rcsi.com or just chat to us in the gym, or you can contact us via the gym app, which we'll go through obviously once you're registered and in. So yeah, there's no charge for personal training. And the team have a lot of specialities. So if you're coming, you want to continue on a sport, you're absolutely brand new, you want to start running, triathlon, weights, whatever you want to do. We haven't met anybody yet that we haven't been able to facilitate and help. So I'd like to think that'll continue.
I have another question there. Can you join a sports club if you're interested in the sport but have never done it before? Absolutely. That's kind of the best thing about going to the college, is that there's so many clubs and societies that you may never have even heard of, and we really encourage you to try absolutely everything at the start. Give everything a go once or twice or 3 or 4 times. And a lot of our students, I have one student in particular, she'd never ran before, she'd never done a race, never done anything, and now she's a marathon runner and she competed in the Boston Marathon, which is obviously huge. So definitely, if you haven't tried something before, this is the best opportunity to try something new. And someone else said that they're charged for facilities like the climbing club. All of the clubs and societies are free, but obviously there's certain things that we may charge for. So let's say if you're going on a big trip for the weekend, you may have to pay a small fee of €10 or €15 to cover the cost of the bus or to cover the cost of your lunch. But the majority of the activities are free, and just to join up, there's no cost at all.
Okay, Ivan, do you want to take some of those accommodation queries that are coming through the chat box? Maybe there's a few of them there.
Well, I just see the one there. Does every first year get accommodation? Well, every first year will find accommodation. We accommodate 109 students in Mercer Court and Millen House, and between the other student accommodation around us, everybody finds suitable accommodation, I'm happy to say.
Perfect. Okay.
The question there from Mar regarding about first-time gym goers, and I suppose that's a really good question, and thanks for asking it. I suppose like most gyms, it's a mix, but we do find that a lot of people are going to a new country, new university. They do tend to take, and because it's you know, obviously future healthcare professionals, you understand the need to look after your health and wellness. So we do find a lot of people are brand new, and that's absolutely brilliant for us because, you know, we got so much to show you and to teach you. So absolutely don't feel awkward. Even the people who've been in gyms haven't been in this gym, so everybody is essentially a first timer walking into the RCSI gym. So there's not much difference whether you've been in a gym at home or not. So yeah, I wouldn't worry about that at all.
Perfect. Jackie, do you want to take one or two of the questions that are in the chat box there?
Yeah, see, a lot of them directed more at clubs, but sometimes I think students get a little confused between clubs and societies. So clubs here at RCSI are kind of sport related and have like a lot of, you know, matches and competitions, and societies are kind of non-sport related for the most part. So kind of the non-athletic, though we do have dance society, but we would have anything from like art society to wilderness medicine. So we have recreation as well, and a lot of academic kind of based or career based societies. Sorry, I'm just looking here. So you can do sports, or you can do clubs and societies at the same time. You don't have to choose like, I just want to be part of clubs or I just want to be part of societies. If that's what you want to do, that's fine, but you certainly can do both. How you manage kind of your schedule, your extracurricular kind of activities outside of your academics is, you know, up to you to kind of figure that out. And it's really actually a good challenge to find out what works for you, what doesn't, and to dedicate kind of your time to something that you find a passion in, something that brings you together with other people who have shared interests. Sorry, what am I missing here?
That's perfect. I should give you a hand here. Sorry, Dave, are there any personal trainers in the female only gym?
Yes, yeah, we do. We have female trainers who, obviously there are a lot of students who would look for a female personal trainer, and this year we're launching a number of new female only initiatives, in addition to a lot of other stuff. But yeah, there's a number of female only kind of small group training that we're going to be launching over the next couple of weeks, which we're excited about.
Perfect. Jackie, is it possible to run for Students' Union, or are students chosen?
Well, so it's both essentially. So each year, obviously, we get a new Students' Union. Right now, I think there's 7 or 8 of them. Anyways, so you get to put your name forward if you would like to, go for a position. You can either kind of go and apply as an individual or as part of a team. And then they kind of run towards the end of semester 2, and then they're elected in by the student body. So it is kind of a both, but our Students' Union does a great job of having kind of information sessions for students who might be interested in it, whether they have other, peers that they would like to run with, or if they are they're just interested in like, what are the different roles and what could I do? So they hold various numbers of those kind of information sessions before they actually launch kind of elections and things too. So they make sure that you understand what the process is and what you'd be getting yourself into, time commitments and all that.
Yeah, there's a question there about, are there orchestras or choirs in RCSI?
So we currently do not have an orchestra, but we do have a choir at RCSI. It's a small, just kind of concert choir, and they've been doing brilliant things around campus. Last year, they did a lot of virtual choirs, and even though it was, online, they actually had a great time doing something that they loved to, come together at the end of their day of studies. But they also were in the intercollegiate choral competition, and we didn't win anything, but we came really close, especially for a small college. So they have some big things coming up, and yeah, really looking forward to see what they're going to accomplish this year as well.
Perfect. Ivan, you might be able to take this one. It's been asked a few times. Does RCSI have a student car park? Oh, you're on mute.
There is an RCSI car park, but it's not exclusively for students or anything like that. alas, public transport is very good in the city, and it is best to leave the car at home. Very much a green campus. The less we use the car, the better.
Perfect. And Jackie, I presume with this question around the choirs and the music groups, are you expected to already know how to play an instrument? I would.
No, not at all.
Oh,
I mean,
okay.
we certainly have, we do have music society, and we have choral society, but we have a choral director who helps, people who have never sung before and those who also have, trained for years. So it's a nice mix. And then for music society, yeah, we do have students who certainly do know how to play instruments, but if you want to kind of fiddle around with some of the instruments down in our music room, you're welcome to give them a try and, meet some of the members, and I'm sure they'd be happy to kind of show you around how to play some of the instruments or maybe teach you a few things. So yeah, if you do know, great. If you don't, that's totally fine too.
Okay, great. David, question just came in there around the gym. Ariane,
Yeah,
right?
see that, yeah. Yeah, so I said the RCSI gym is free, and all of the services are free always as well. We never charge for anything. In terms of, people feeling a bit nervous, that's absolutely normal. A lot of people, as I said earlier, are coming to a gym for the first time. So I suppose the way we would work that, you're working with a personal trainer, so you're not out on the gym floor by yourself until you actually feel very comfortable about it. You can book time slots with a personal trainer at the quieter times. So, when people, when there's less people around, you can book into the female only gym, which is quite small. You can book it. There's a lot of different smaller areas you can book in, but certainly we would work with you. And when you feel comfortable, then to work out on your own. It doesn't take long for most people. I think people, some people feel that it's going to take a lot longer than it does, but most people, once again, it's the fear of the unknown. Once you know what you're doing, and it doesn't look so big and scary, and a few friendly faces, we find people get very comfortable very quickly. We're not a huge, massive commercial facility with hundreds of people walking around, body beautiful. Everybody is a student or a staff member. We're not open to the public, which is very important to state. So I suppose it's a very welcoming, kind of fun, relaxing place to come, or that's at least what we try and do anyway. So yeah, it's very hard to tell someone not to be worried, because that doesn't work. But I suppose I'd offer my assurances that over the last few years, we've had people who have been very nervous, and now they're flying, and you would never know how nervous they were on the first day. And I see a follow-up question there about nutritionists. Yeah, we have some staff who are qualified nutritionists, not dietitians now. So there is, in Ireland, dietitian is a protected term, whereas nutritionist isn't. But we do have staff who have studied nutrition and are very happy to go over, have a look at your nutrition and help you with that.
Perfect. So I don't know if you've been responding to some of those queries. There's a few queries come in, on tennis courts, and do I need a boat, or do I need to rent a boat if I'm going to join the sailing club and things like that?
Yeah, I've just been replying to them in the chat. So
Perfect.
For all of our clubs, you don't need any equipment. You don't need a horse, a boat, a tennis racket. You need absolutely nothing. We provide everything. Obviously, if you have equipment, feel free to bring it with you to the college. That's amazing. But if you don't, we provide absolutely everything for you. So don't worry about needing a boat or a horse, or having to get your horse over from anywhere.
From France, the horse.
From France, exactly. You don't need to worry about that.
I'm not sure if this is a club or society type question. Is there a language club? Is there a rover section for scouts? And is there a club to learn ISL? Jackie, you might take that.
Yeah, so we currently do not have a language club or society, but we do have 7 cultural societies. So that would be like, we've got Caribbean African Society, we got the American Medical Student Association. This can be fun, trying to get back into this swing of things. So we got the Canadian Irish Medical Student Association, we got Pakistan, India, Bangladesh, and Sri Lanka. We also have the Southeast Asia Society, and who else am I forgetting?
The Caribbean.
MISA, Middle Eastern Student Association. So we do have other, our kind of cultural societies, which come from different regions of the world that, may speak in other languages, but the primary language in RCSI is English. So all of our events are in English. However, that does not mean that students don't speak in other languages, amongst themselves. ISL, we do have a few different training sessions through a variety of our societies, including our pediatric society. I'm not sure if that's one that they're doing this year or plan to do, but these things kind of pop up. And so it can be kind of like a training for a couple weeks or a few weeks as an introduction kind of type thing. But at the moment, we don't have that, but there's certainly opportunities and ways that we can kind of build them into the societies that we already have on campus. What was the other question? Oh, the scouts. We don't have any scouts at the moment, but there are at times, opportunities for clubs and societies. We may open up the opportunity for students to put in some proposals for new clubs and societies at times if it makes sense and if we have the space and time allows for it. So if time would allow or space would allow to add another club or society, we'd be happy to have those conversations and let you know what information we would need and what you would need to do to get the application in for consideration. But again, otherwise it's looking in how can we embed it into what we currently have.
Yeah, because there's over 80 clubs and societies in RCSI. So it's really just, if you're really passionate about something and it isn't available, then you can talk to either Jackie or Si, depending on whether it's a society or club, to see if it's possible to start up a new one and what that would involve.
Exactly.
Ivan, I think you've kind of touched on this already, but it's come up again. And it's just, I guess CEO applicants are just concerned about, will there be any places reserved in Mercer and Millen for CEO, given that they get their places so late in the year?
And the answer is yes. We're very happy to say we do hold places for CAO applicants. As soon as you get your offer, you will log into and accept your offer. You will log into the RCS EYE, which you will be told about, and you just send in an application form, and we do hold spaces for CAO offers. Absolutely. We look forward to them.
Perfect. Are there any society gatherings or club gatherings at specific times? So I guess this is probably just more the social aspect of the clubs and SOCs.
So yeah, there would be different trainings, weekly trainings and sessions. So whether it's, choral society or dance society kind of practices or rehearsals, or whether it's, training for sports and clubs, then yeah, those would happen at certain days and times of the week, normally in the evenings, and then normally matches and kind of larger events would take place on the weekend, just outside of obviously kind of the academic calendar. But sorry, I'm getting distracted with the chat box as well. Yeah. So, but there's other events that are just ad hoc. And so you can kind of pick and choose what you would like to participate in or how much you want to be, engaged. But if you are looking forward to, to make a commitment or to create something that's part of a routine, then yeah, joining something that has a weekly practice would be a good idea to look into.
Yeah, and I think some of the societies are big, and probably clubs too are big into the kind of social aspect as well. So they'd have kind of socials and nights out and things like that.
Absolutely. Yeah. There's
that ball and things like that as well.
We have some very elaborate balls. Yes. So once we get out of COVID, everything will hopefully be all very exciting and more back to normal, but our students are really innovative and very creative and making sure that they're keeping, the student body engaged, and they're finding new fun things to do. So that's good.
Perfect. Is there a social media page where students can find out more about clubs and SOCs?
I would have to say, I think the Instagram social media page for RCSI Student Life is really good because it shows more than just clubs and societies. It shows just what our students are up to, including our student ambassadors, the Students Union, and it just really keeps up to date with everything that's going on. So it's just the RCSI Student Life. I'll put it in the chat.
Perfect. And just somebody's asked if this recording will be sent to them. So just to note that this session is recorded and will be available on the Undergraduate Open Day page on the RCSI website. So this will all be available to watch back over the next couple of months if you want to watch it back again. Would I be able to train with the college and my own club for athletics side?
Yeah, absolutely. That's not an issue at all. For almost all of our clubs, like I said, there's not a huge time commitment. It doesn't have to be. So we encourage you to keep training with your own club if you have a club here in Dublin or anywhere, and then still partake in the RCSI club. And at least we're getting the best of both worlds. You'll be trend. And we love it.
Yeah, that's perfect. And Ivan, what are the fees for student accommodation?
Okay, the fees range from a single ensuite in Millen House of about 10,600 to 6,500 if you were sharing a twin room. So there's a good range there. The vast majority of rooms would be single ensuite rooms in both Millen and Mercer Court. So those prices are around 10,600, and that's give or take about the industry standard for a single ensuite room.
Perfect. And just really quickly, Jackie, there are societies and clubs to do with art and painting, aren't there?
Yeah. Yes, we have an art society. They're brilliant. They do kind of weekly sessions, whether it's, you know, a painting session, or it could be Inktober where they're doing ink, or they could do calligraphy. But they also help, or I should say, they normally help a lot of our other societies kind of decorate for their balls as well, or for our drama societies musicals. So they definitely are very hands-on, and I'm always blown away by the talent of our students, because you know they come in for health sciences or medicine, but they have all these other wonderful talents. And so yeah, they're very busy.
Yeah, fantastic. And Dave, wondering if you need to pay for gym membership if you're using it regularly?
No, the gym is free and all of the services are always free. So absolutely, once you're a member of the RCSI gym, there's no fee, and we never ask you for anything.
There you go. So it's pretty fantastic, and it's like it's a very modern gym, and it's not open to the public or anything. So it's great.
Yeah, no, it's very unique in that it in most of the universities that I know are open to the public, and sometimes that can kind of create a two-tier membership system where at certain peak times students are treated less favorably than the higher paying public. RCSI, we don't have any members of the public in the gym, so our staff are always just dedicated to students.
Perfect. Jackie, I don't know anything about the Research Society, so there's a question around, do we have a Research Society?
We have a Research Skills Society, and so they work very closely with a lot of different departments within the college. So whether it's the library, or it could be the careers team, it could be surgery department, and they help students who are, you know, to understand how to get into research and what it will look like, and kind of step-by-step process to kind of make it a little less daunting. And then they will hold different kind of research events where students can actually present certain things. So the Research Skills Society, if you want to follow them on Instagram or Facebook to get more information. I think they also might be on LinkedIn as well. Perfect.
Dave, there was another question there around the personal trainers with the gym. How long are time slots with personal trainers?
We generally do around 40-45 minutes. You know, it depends on the person's level, so that's enough time for people to absorb information. And if people need to come back for a second or a third or a fourth session to kind of, you know, just to go through it again, that's absolutely fine. As I said, there's no limit on the services you can get. So we would never say you can only have a certain number of sessions or a certain amount of time with a trainer. You know, we're there again to look after students. So as long as you need us, there's no minimum or maximum time.
Great. And Ivan, are there any rules while living on campus around visitors? Probably a bit stricter at the moment with COVID still. I think you're on, yeah, perfect.
Yeah, at the moment, there's no visitors on campus. We are creating a safe haven for the students, so where they don't contract the virus, hopefully. But hopefully all of this will come to an end by next year, and we will allow visitors on board.
Great. Sounds good. I think Sadhbh is very busy replying in writing to all our questions. Thanks, Sadhbh.
There was a question there, how much time you would spend in a given day. I would tell a lot of my residents that they should timetable their time off. So if you're into athletics or you're into a sport and you're going to be training on Tuesday and Thursday, set aside that time and really enjoy it. All the rest of the time you'll be studying or in classes.
Absolutely. Sounds good. Brilliant. So I might just have a few questions there. Dave, there was maybe not everybody who's joined us here today has had a chance to watch your presentation on the gym yet. So do you just want to maybe give a 1 or 2 minute sort of intro to the gym and sports facilities in 26 York Street, especially for students who aren't even familiar with what 26 York Street is?
Yeah, no problem. Our gym in York Street is, we have a team of personal trainers. We offer fitness classes, personal training, body consultations, nutritional consultations, sports specific programs, anything really that helps you towards any kind of health and fitness goal. And we also recognize that it's not about competitive or aesthetics. It's about kind of work-life balance too, giving yourself that personal time to look after your own health. As future healthcare professionals, it's important that you know how to look after your own health, and kind of be mindful of the challenges you're going to be facing over the next few years. So yeah, no, it's a very fun place. We're down in -3, and the sports hall then, which is where the clubs operate, down is -4. Very relaxed, nothing too serious. We just want people to come in, switch off the brains for a little while, have a bit of fun, look after their bodies, which in turn look after everyone's mind and reduce stress levels, and that's really important.
Yeah, absolutely. And Ivan, accommodation is usually a hot topic for potential students. So what are your top tips for Irish students who are hoping to join RCSI in September, but won't know if they have a place until August or early September? Should they start looking for accommodation early on, or are they okay to wait until they get their offer in September?
It's always good to do some homework. You can, these days, as my daughters say, Google it, get online, have a look and see what accommodation is around. You can even visit the sites and see into all the different spaces that are available. They will have seen the video we had there earlier on our own accommodation in Millen and Mercer, which is very good. So yeah, do a bit of homework, see how far away it is. You don't have to live next door. In Dublin, as I say, we have a good bus and train services, and Irish people regularly commute in and out of college. But on-campus accommodation is very, very good. And there's plenty of it, I'm happy to say. There is a tremendous work ethic when you're on campus that you don't get when you are at home and you have the dog and the mammy and the granny coming in disturbing you. So on campus is a wonderful work space and study space, and you're with your peers. So it's excellent for CAO students coming in. Do a bit of homework, have an idea of a list of, I'd like A, B, C, and then when you get your CAO offers, you're ready to go once you've accepted that offer.
Brilliant. Okay, so any final advice, Jackie and Sadhbh, just in terms of students who maybe have the preconception that maybe RCSI is more about studying and health sciences and less about the student life aspect? Any kind of tips or advice just in terms of the range of clubs and societies and events that are available, maybe some highlights that the students particularly love during the year?
I was just going to say, I think students, when they come in, they realise how much time they actually have in the evening to take part in things. And they go in at the start of the year, students are in the library from day one and they're afraid to lift their head up from the book. And then they see the amount of stuff going on, like Dave said, in the gym and in -4. And then they say, oh my God, I can do all of this. I can do both. I can have that balance. And that's what all of us are here to do in student services. We like to find the balance and show them they can do it all. It is about, like what Ivan said, kind of structuring your time and giving yourself enough time to study and giving yourself enough time to have that fun. But the fun is so important. And I think you need to have the both in order to be successful and in order to graduate and be happy and healthy in your life in RCSI.
Yeah, definitely. Jackie, any final words before we wrap up?
Yeah, I was just going to say that it's really important that as medical and healthcare, students, a lot of the information you guys will be taking in during the day is obviously very interesting, but also very heavy and a lot to kind of, soak in. And so it's really important that you do fill up your cup and you find and definitely make time for things that bring you joy and pleasure. So our clubs and societies are but multiple ways in which you can do that. But of course, if you have different interests that aren't here or you want to explore more of Ireland and Dublin, great. You if you're in a new country, definitely take advantage of that. But we are absolutely here and ready to help and support you. And there's lots of offerings to help you just kind of get kickstarted and to meet new friends from all different years in clubs and societies. And yeah, we just hope that you really feel at home when you're here at RCSI.
Yeah, and I suppose I would just maybe just reiterate to anybody who's on this call and hasn't had a chance to watch the presentations yet that Dave and Ivan and Jackie and Sadhbh did earlier on during the open day. They are available to watch on the undergraduate open day page now, and they're really good. Just to give you a flavor of, like, the gym facilities are fantastic, and there's like loads of classes happening every week. So there's something for everybody. Like, if it's yoga or Pilates, or if you want to go, like much more for, high intensity workouts like myself, there's those as well. But fantastic team of personal trainers and nutritional experts and all of that as well. And, just make sure that you go back and have a listen to those presentations, because they're short, but they're very informative. Get on the website, have a look on our social media accounts as well, and get in touch if you have any questions over the next couple of months. And thank you very much. And thanks to Dave and Ivan and Jackie and Sadhbh for your time. And I hope that everybody enjoyed the open day today, and best of luck, and hope to hear from you again soon. Thank you.